The first HIV/AIDS case sa buong Kenya ay nakita po dito sa Mumias way back 1980s. Naging problema ang HIV because makita mo naman dito sa area namin, walang masyadong pagkakabisihan ng mga tao. So, much of them are into their homes always at saka wala silang mga trabaho. Napakahirap ng lugar na ito. Kung makikita mo dito sa area na ito, walang masyadong NGO na nagtatrabaho dito. I think we are the only organization working in this area, Mumias and Musanda. No? Walang nagsusupport sa mga tao dito. Walang nagbibuild ng kanilang capacity. Walang nagpo-provide sa kanila ng opportunities para ma-improve yung kanilang skills in terms of livelihood survival. Same kind of work I'm doing sa Philippines na makikita mo mga taong mahihirap, mga taong may sakit, mga nangangailangan. Kasi more on nung nasa Red Cross ako, more on disaster talaga sa atin sa Pilipinas. Same kind different level lang kasi dito makikita mo mga bata mismo yung mga may sakit. So I really had a hard time nung nakikita yung mga bata, like one of our beneficiaries nung pagdating ko as BSO volunteer needs an immediate heart surgery. Kasi nag-fail yung kanyang one valve of his heart. So, hindi ko alam, ang hirap mag-fundraising sa community na ganito kahirap, sa bansang ganito kahirap, ang hirap. So, hindi ko alam yung una kong gagawin just to save the child. That's just one case. So, parang sabi ko, kailangan natin talagang mag-raise ng money para matulungan itong mga batang to. Dinala. Hey!
Wanaume.
Makikita mo everyday yung mga bata Hindi kagaya sa atin sa Pilipinas sometimes, yung trabaho natin, we will feel the impact after a month, after 2 months, after a year. But here, you could really feel the impact of what you're doing. And you will be proud of what you're doing because kung hindi ka nakapag-raise ng money on a daily basis, or sabihin na natin on a monthly basis, makikita mo yung mga bata hindi kakain. Makikita mo, they will be sent away sa school because hindi mo mababayaran yung tuition fee. So makikita mo yung urgent impact ng ginagawa mo. That makes me feel like going pa sa trabaho kasi makikita mo agad ang ginawa mo dito, the impact of what you're doing.
Alam mo, ano na this one?
I'll give it to you. BSO volunteer ako, inintroduce ko ang financial policy ng National Trust. Inintroduce ko ang human resources policy. Paano ba mag-hire, mag-fire, paano ba mag-discipline ng mga staff. At ganun din, inintroduce ko din yung mga different policies in terms of HR, human resources, like code of conduct and discipline. Paano mo ba i-strengthen yung capacity ng organization to deliver effectively its services. So, yun yung trabaho ko at i-build yung capacity ng mga local para sila mismo yung mag-own ng project.
Yan lang yung bahay na yan, no, kapatid?
Ito si Mama Lucy, yung tawag namin sa kanya. Nakita namin sila na naglalakad sa kalsada. Kasama niya yung kanyang apo. Kasi bulag yung grandmother. Hawak-hawak niya yung isang older brother. Yung isa si Lucy, hawak-hawak niya with a stick. And yung isang apo nakahawak sa kanyang palm. Naglalakad sila sa kalsada papunta sa isang funeral. Na partly, sa funeral, nawala yung isang apo niya. So yung dalawang apo niya, sinusuportahan namin. Mula noon, noong 2007, sinuportahan na namin sila. yung kanyang yung anak niya at saka yung husband sa HIV and AIDS. Yan, so naiwan yung kanyang 3 anak. So si Mama Lucy, siya yung nag-alaga sa 3 apo. So from there on, si si grandmother, nagtitil siya ng farm, malakas pa rin siya para lang suportahan yung kanyang mga
Kahit bulag, sir. It's a bit painful, but it's
kahit bulag, kahit na mahina, inaalagaan niya yung kanyang apo until now. So ngayon sabi namin it's high time na rin na tulungan yung grandmother para at least konti na lang yung natitira sa kanyang buhay, kailangan na natin ibigay sa kanya yung the best.
And a bad luck.
What's
You know,
the
when she
door?
goes-
What's the door in Swahili?
Umuriango.
Muriango.
Napaka-importante kasi sa bilang isang BSO volunteer na i-share mo yung skills mo. No? Paano mo gawin yon ay through participatory planning. Kailangan yung mga locals mismo, turuan mo sila paano i-manage ang kanilang proyekto. Ang alam ko naman kasi, napakagaling ng mga Kenyans. It's just a matter on guiding them and giving them supervision. And of course, is strengthening their systems para maayos ang pagkaka-implement ng mga proyekto.
Lucy. Ungwa. Unga. Omena. Sabuni. And tomato.
When we started, we relied on local staff. The IT skills were very, very poor. So for us as a UK charity, most people rely on reports because they want to see if they're giving you money, what does that money actually do? And so Carlos was able to develop reports that were suitable for our funders, for our supporters, but also for me as a UK director, that I can go away and market it and say, look, this is what we're doing, this is how much, you put small things like graphs, like saying, this is a percentage of HIV orphans that we've got, this is a percentage of non-HIV, partial orphans and things like that. And again, that just added a lot of value to our project, which is things we never had.
Ito po yung dati naming kitchen nung dumating ako.
Sila, sir, tool.
So makikita mo, gamit lang namin is firewood dati, tapos nilalagyan lang namin sa 3 stone. They call it 3 stone. Ngayon, from that stove na nakita nyo kanina, meron na kami, they call it Geo cooker, or Gico for short. So it saved the firewood. So lesser ang magagamit mong pera sa pagbili ng firewood. At kinocontain niya yung heat. Kinocontain niya yung heat, at yung usok, papalabas ka agad sa chimney. So, lesser smoke at saka lesser use of firewood.
Why is it that 90% of the volunteers are from the Philippines? I just wanted to know because interesting enough, when we started looking for a project manager, all the CVs we had were all from the Philippines. And what Carlos said to me is because as your system encourages volunteering from a very early age, and then as people get employed, as they go to university, so it's almost part of the culture. And one of the things I've said to him that maybe we need to start using that model for our own children, because in Kenya people don't volunteer. It doesn't happen because when people are so poor, you don't volunteer. You get paid to feed yourself. So one of the things, again, myself and Carlos have started is the older children have to give some volunteering hours, so that we almost start changing that culture where they believe that it's important to give something back. And then as you grow, when they get into employment, it's easier because they were used to doing it when they were growing up.
Debbie, are they ready now? Yeah, we're ready for you. Sa tingin ko kasi, ang mga Pilipino, innate na sa atin ang pagiging volunteer. No? Meron na tayong term na bayanihan. Sa atin, napakadaling mag-recruit ng volunteer. No? And they know the meaning of volunteerism. Kasi sometimes, we are so comfortable with the way how we live, especially if we live in metropolis like Manila. We are so comfortable. At the end of the day, we ride on a bus, we ride on a jeepney. Lahat, andun na accessible lahat. No? Pero if you push yourself towards the wall and do volunteering, especially in third world countries like Kenya, I think you will learn a lot from you. And you will grow as a person. Alam mo kasi na makakatulong ka sa community. Kung maiintindihan mo talaga yung trabaho mo as a volunteer, maiintindihan mo, you know how can you contribute to that vision of the organization, I think you will fall in love with your organization.
Moja, Billy, Patu!